So, I was wondering, why is Black History Month the shortest month of the year? Like, Black History Month is about me, like, going to school so that my teacher can ask me, like, why I'm brown. Like, Alex, how do you feel about Martin Luther King? Like, well, certainly not how you feel, which is that he's this, like, pacified version of Malcolm X, and that he was, like, babysitting the state and working with white people and being like, come on, black people. Come on, guys. Don't kill cops. Don't kill cops. I know they're killing you, but don't kill cops. Like, Martin Luther King wasn't way into advocating, like, not killing white people. I mean, he was into advocating not killing white people, but there was a reason besides, like, I really care for white people. He was into advocating not killing white people because it evoked empathy. I mean, I would assume. I'm not a scholar on Martin Luther King, but, like, I would assume he was trying to evoke empathy. You look real stupid when you're fire hosing a bunch of black people who are not even attacking you, and it's ridiculous, and it causes public outrage. That's what was cool about Martin Luther King, not the fact that he wasn't killing cops. Were I there back then, I would want to kill some cops. I would not have qualms with killing some cops. I would have qualms with going to jail for killing some cops, because I'm not as ethically up there as, like, Rosa Parks, who wasn't killing cops. She was going to jail, though. The qualms that I would have with killing cops would not be related to, I feel bad for the cops. They would be related to, I feel bad for my family, because now I'm in jail. Martin Luther King, not this pacified dude. And not this guy just trying to figure out how we can, like, legalize blackness. Like, we have this idea that, like, 1963 happened and Martin Luther King was, like, done. That did not happen. Martin Luther King was not like, oh, okay, well, they legalized segregation, so it must not be going on anymore. Like, Martin Luther King would look at our world today and be like, oh my god, this is insane. It's been like 50 years, oh my god. He was into eradicating de facto racism and segregation. De facto meaning not of the state. So that racism that you don't think is there, but it's really there, that he was also not into that. And he said that one of the three biggest evils out there were materialism, racism, militarism. Are we still militaristic? Are we still materialistic? And for those of you out there who aren't Bill O'Reilly types, are we still racist? I think we're still racist. I think we're still racist. We're still racist. So, if you know me, you know that I kind of, like, simultaneously am really excited to talk about being black and blackness and all that fun stuff, but I'm also, like, kind of scared and hesitant, and I'm like, I don't wanna. Black History Month, please don't come. Martin Luther King Day, please don't come. Ah! And that's because it's really awkward. It's, like, really awkward. I'm sorry, white people. You make it so awkward. Like, when I was little, we had these Martin Luther King Day assemblies. We would all file in there like little kids, right? And we were like, yeah. And it was like, white kid, white kid, white kid, brown kid, white kid, white kid, Alex, white kid, white kid, white kid. I was, like, in there in this sea of white people, and I was like, And then the teacher would start preaching. The teacher was like, Martin Luther King, he dreamed of a day when he could say, oppressors, that's all right. Forget about all that. He dreamt of brunch with Ronald Reagan. They would have you think that he came along and he's like, all right, black people, calm down. Black people, relax. Black people, it's okay. Black people, it's gonna be okay. That's not true. He was a radical, and we've perverted his image so that, like, we think he's this black guy who was, like, working with the president and babysitting the state and pacifying the white masses and, like, pandering to his white constituencies, when really his letters from a Birmingham jail were an all-out rejection of the state and allowing the state to define the terms through which we eradicate racism. And that means that he was not just chasing some bill. Contrary to popular belief, he was not waiting for some civil rights act. He was looking to eradicate both legislated and de facto instances of racism. And he was a radical. And he knew how to get black people fired up by saying, I have a dream. That dream was not his game plan. And that speech was not his syllabus. His main message was not only that we should stop valuing things over people, but that the three main sources of oppression are racism, materialism, and militarism. He rejected all of those things. So when you ask yourself, would Martin Luther King have looked upon the US today and been satisfied and have seen his dream and have seen us even stepping towards his dream? Not really. We're killing brown people with drones in the Middle East. We're neglecting black kids. Also, we didn't really care when Australia committed a genocide. That was weird. We, didn't care at all. Apartheid was happening, and we were like, oh, apartheid. And we also didn't care about Rwanda. That's a different story. But no, he's not looking on this world and saying that we're done. Because we're not done. So stop perverting his message to be this Eurocentric, pacified Negro version of what you like. Because he's a radical, and you don't have to like him. So yeah, this week, in honor of the Martin Luther King Day that I was too lazy to celebrate, learn yourself some things, because I certainly haven't. I've just learned myself that I'm irritated, which is commonplace.